Welcome to the author day in the life vlog, which is going to be multiple days, but we are fulfilling orders for my Kickstarter. So I had a Kickstarter for my book, Sparks in Iceland, back in June, and now it is time to finally fulfill those orders. And today we have our first batch of books that have arrived. These are the books that I ordered through Ingram Sparks. So my Kickstarter offered a couple of different things. You could get just the ebook, which was early access to the ebook because the book doesn't come out till October. You could get a special edition paperback, which has black and white photos inside the book as well as sprayed edges. You could get a deluxe hardcover, which had a lot of different bells and whistles, or you could get the annotated deluxe hardcover. Now, both deluxe hardcovers are being printed through BookVault, and that takes much longer. It's being printed in the UK and then shipped here, where I will sign and then ship them out. But these are all the books that I ordered through Ingram Spark. So these are our special edition paperbacks. Now, obviously, Ingram Spark does not do sprayed edges. I will actually be doing the sprayed edges myself in this lovely little vlog. But I also have paperbacks of my novella, Change of Flight. Now, that novella is free to read. It's a hate-to-love romance, and I will leave it linked down below if you want to check it out, because like I said, the novella is free to read as an ebook, but it could be added on in the Kickstarter as a paperback. One of these boxes should be just the novella, and then the other boxes should be regular paperbacks. Like I said, I have to spray the paperback's edges. So let's get to unboxing. Okay, so here we are with our little book haul from Ingram Spark. We have all the copies of Sparks in Iceland, which look awesome. And they have their black and white photos in here. So here's one of them, which is a lighthouse. These are actually going to be available on my website. The Kickstarter was basically a way to fund my ability to create these fun special editions. But you can still, if you didn't grab it during the Kickstarter, you can still get the special editions on my website, and they'll be signed and shipped out to you. So I did end up ordering a little bit extra for the sake of having some stock on my website, and if they tend to keep selling, I'll make sure they stay in stock. But I thought that would be fun. Over here we have Change of Flight, which is my novella. I actually love seeing this printed out because obviously it's obviously a short book. It's a novella. So it's not typical that you see a novella printed out because they are so short, but I think it's still fun. And it doesn't have any like fancy chapter headers, but it's still like fun to hold the book, and I love the covers, so I love seeing it printed out. These were, like I said, these were an add-on to the Kickstarter, so when you supported the campaign, you could choose to get a paperback of Change of Flight added on. And I've heard so many like people that love this story and only wish that it was a full-length novel because they just enjoyed the story so much, which is always so nice to hear. But I guess my question to you guys is should I continue selling these? Like, should I sell signed editions of the paperback on my website? Right now, I only ordered enough just to fulfill the Kickstarter because I wasn't really sure how this would go. But if you guys like it, let me know, and I'll make sure to add stock to my website. But the next thing on our to-do list is to spray these boring edges, and it's just going to be a solid color. But I did a test one earlier. So this right here is the test copy that I already did. This is a version of the book that has not been proofread or is missing a lot of stuff. But you can see it has the lovely sprayed edges. And what I personally love about the sprayed edges most is that the pages that have photos, like this page, I feel like the colored sprayed edge really makes the black and white photos pop even more. Now, the deluxe hardcovers are printed in full color, but I feel like these sprayed edges on these special edition paperbacks just make it go over the edge of coolness factor. Anyways, I have to go ahead and spray all of these but one copy because I did have one supporter of the Kickstarter request just a regular version of the book that didn't have sprayed edges. So I'm not going to spray her copy, but the rest I will. And also what's fun in here is that we unlocked some really good stretch goals on Kickstarter, like this map of the trip, and then we also have this playlist. So these two things are included inside the book because we unlocked stretch goals on Kickstarter. So yay for that. Welcome to my daughter's playroom. Ironically, this is the only room big enough for the excessive amounts of books that I have to sign and ship. And as you can see behind me, they have arrived in the mail. So behind me are all the books that I ordered from BookVault. There should be two different types of books. They are all hardcovers. However, some of them are deluxe hardcovers, just regular deluxe hardcovers, and some of them are annotated deluxe hardcovers. These came and arrived last night. I have not opened them yet because I wanted to film the unboxing. So my patience has ended at this point. But I'm really hoping they came out good because I do not have time to reorder books. What also arrived on the same day is my inventory of postcards. So postcards are for all the books, including the special edition paperbacks that you guys have been seeing me create myself. So there's two different types of postcards, and we're going to unbox this first. Okay, postcard number 1 is the Northern Lights postcard. This actually, I think, was the bonus postcard that we unlocked with an additional, or a bonus mini stretch goal. This is not the first postcard we unlocked. This postcard technically is the one that was unlocked first, which is right here. So this is a canyon. I'm not going to bother trying to pronounce the name. I am a little bummed with the fact that this postcard, the bleed was cut correctly, and on the other one, it's like in a little frame. And I actually don't mind the frame. I'm more bothered that one postcard has like a little white frame and the other doesn't. It was probably my fault. So yeah, I'm a little bothered that one has a white edge and the other doesn't. But I think on their own they look great. And honestly, they're great quality as well. Like, they're nice and thick postcards. But this is great, so if you want to frame it, you can, or just, look at it. So, that's the postcards. They came out great. And in case I didn't mention earlier, those postcards were printed using photos that I took personally. Same with all the photos that are featured in the deluxe hardcovers. Those are all photos I took personally as well. Anyways, let's stop talking and start unboxing. All the books are officially here. We have 13 copies of the deluxe hardcover and then 30 copies of the annotated deluxe hardcover. I did order a couple extra copies of the annotated deluxe hardcover to sell on my website. When they become on sale, I don't know, because I think this video is going to go live before the release date of the book, and obviously I don't want to release these copies for sale beforehand. That's one of the perks of joining the Kickstarter is you get the books early. But there's a lot of books and a lot of packing material now. Any international packages that I send out, and there's quite a few of them, I'm going to make sure they have extra padding. So I'm going to reuse this because why not? I am sending out all the books in bubble mailers. I found those work really well with books. They're also affordable. I also already have them on hand. But international ones, I think I'm going to give an extra layer of coating. Anyways, I now have everything physically on hand, but the sprayed edge books I still need to finish. This is how many of the sprayed edges I've done so far. They're actually coming out really good. I love the contrast of the cover to the purple. I think it looks awesome. And also, the fact that it's just a solid color makes my job super easy. Unfortunately, I'm only about halfway through. So I'm going to add these to the pile. I have to move some toys around. This is all of my books. They're officially done. I've got all the sprayed edges on the paperbacks done. And of course, we have all of the hardcovers ready. And then this over here is my little stack of novellas for people who got the novellas as an add-on. And this is my box of shipping envelopes. So these are just bubble mailers that all the books are going to go in. And my extra shipping supplies for international is there. So basically, I'm ready to package everything. And I'm also ready to sign because I have this lovely purple pen. Typically, I sign with Sharpies, but I really like the accent of the purple against the blue. It will also match the purple that's on the spines of the paperbacks, so that's fun. I have my laptop ready to go with all the backer info. And basically, I'm going to go through each backer, grab the appropriate book, sign it, give it the number because they are supposed to be numbered. So whatever your backer number is, like if you were the first backer, you're number 1. If you're like the 5th, 6th, 10th, 20th, 40th, I think there's 83 backers I had. So some of them ordered just one book. Some of them ordered the novella. I realize now I didn't give anyone the option to order more than one book, so that's probably a whoopsie on my part in case people wanted to order more than one book, but no one requested it. But I have seen other authors on Kickstarter do that, and I feel like that's a small regret. I didn't give people the option to do add-ons of additional books, so if they wanted more than one copy. Anyways, before I can do all of that, I actually want to do a little photo shoot. Quite literally, I'm just going to put all the books in a pile, take a photo of me sitting on them or leaning on them. So rather than bringing them upstairs and doing it upstairs, I am just going to remove this colorful foam mat that is on the playroom floor. That way it's not in the photo. And I'm going to move all the books down. And then after I take my photo, we'll start packaging. It will take a while. And I only have one nap time to do this. Ideally, my daughter is currently asleep and out cold, so hopefully she's asleep long enough that I can get this done. But basically, what I'm going to do is I'm packaging everything, but I'm not printing out the shipping labels yet. So after I package someone's order, I'm going to put a sticky note on it. Or I might even just, I think I might be better off just writing directly on the package itself the backer's name. And then later this weekend, I'm going to go in and print out the shipping labels and then put them on the appropriate package. But everything will be labeled, so nothing should get mixed up. I'm pretty confident in the process that I've chosen, but I was going to print out the shipping labels ahead of time, but I just didn't have time to do that last night. I realized it's going to be a very long process, and I think I'm going to use Pirate Ship, in case anyone was wondering. Which basically I go into Pirate Ship, I paste in the address and put in the package information, and I'm able to print the shipping label at home and plop it on the package. it should be pretty simple. And I just have to cross my fingers that I charged shipping appropriately and that I don't get bit in the butt because, yeah. For U.S. orders, everything's being shipped with media mail. I purposely didn't do any add-ons outside of books so I could ship with media mail. That way it was an affordable shipping rate. However, internationally, obviously it goes by the package size and weight, and also the rates change all the time. So I did these estimates of how much shipping should cost back in like April or May, and now it's September, so I overestimated when I charged customers, but we'll see what happens. You never know. Hopefully I don't eat my profit with the shipping costs. I took the photos, but now I'm going to move the books again so I can put the foam mat back down so I'm not sitting on the cold tile floor while I package books.
The roads that lay open are many when the old one's gone under the knife, and I can feel the sun on my skin. This morning has a clearer light as any to see the horizon in the far. Excuses were 2 for a penny, but they've all gone out the window of this car. And when I feel the wind on my face,
can I just say that signing the page on the hardcovers, so satisfying. Now, I suspect it's because of the custom end papers, but also this pen is a gel pen. It writes really nice, and it's purple, and it just all looks so pretty when it's done. This one is Ashley's. She was backer number 85. Now, unfortunately, my daughter is still asleep, but we're approaching the time where I need to wake her up, so she will go to bed later tonight. So, even though I'm not done, I have to stop. But I have a lovely pile of packages next to me, and it's very satisfying. Okay, so it's 2 days later because I didn't know when doing a Kickstarter that you have to lock in the addresses, which is basically just you send an email to all your backers letting them know, I'm about to ship your pledge. Please make sure your shipping address is correct. So I didn't end up hitting that button until I started packaging everything. So then I had to wait 48 hours from there to actually use the confirmed shipping addresses and print those out. So everything's packaged now. I did that all on Friday, I think it was, and now it's Monday. So all the shipping addresses have been confirmed. It took me about an hour and a half to figure out how to print out all the shipping labels because I'm so used to my Shopify store where I literally just hit print label, and it's all been done for me, and I had to kind of manually do some of these. So I used Pirate Ship to print all my shipping labels. I first did all the international orders manually to make sure that I wasn't getting screwed over in terms of pricing. And turns out that I calculated my prices nearly perfectly when I was giving estimates to my backers. So, for example, when I was shipping a package to Germany, I said it was going to cost $30, so that's what I charged the Kickstarter backer, and it ended up costing me like $29, so it worked out pretty good. And then for all U.S. orders, I charged the media mail rate, which is really why it took me so long to print out all these shipping labels. So I had 3 international orders. I printed out those shipping labels manually, and then I had 51 U.S. orders, and I wanted to just print them all as one bulk, like order them in bulk, print them in bulk. I didn't want to do it all manually because then I'd have to copy and paste each name and address manually into Pirate Ship. I didn't want to do that. So I figured out how to import it, but I couldn't figure out how to select media mail as an option. I did eventually figure it out. It's like this little button that you have to hit when you're putting in your package info. It's like extra services, and then you have to check off that your book qualifies for media mail. Because if I didn't do that, I would have had to pay $8.50 for shipping for each book, but I only charged backers $8 for shipping. And I was like, media mail should only be like $4 to $6, which is why I charged my backers $6. So luckily I did figure it out. It ended up charging me like $4.50 per each label. And these are all the labels right here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to match each label to each book. I did write on each envelope. You probably can't see it because I just wrote it in pen. I wrote each backer's name. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to look at the label, then search for the appropriate book in the pile. Probably not my most efficient way of doing this. I think next time I'll print the labels first and then package things as I find the labels. But what I'm doing this time is I'm going to have my laptop open and I'm going to go through everyone one by one. And as I add a label onto a package and seal up a package, I will be marking that package as being shipped on the Kickstarter end of things so that Kickstarter knows and understands that that has been shipped. And then basically what I'm going to do after all that is I'm going to put in a request for USPS to come by and pick up all the packages, and then the international ones, what service are you? I think the international packages are also USPS. I think I have to double check, but I'm pretty sure that's what I selected, was just international shipping through USPS. It's either that or FedEx, but either way, I typically do the file request to get my packages picked up rather than me having to go to the post office, because that also involves me dragging my daughter to the post office with a bunch of books, which is just not fun. So the real issue for the day is I basically spent the entire nap time figuring out how to print out shipping labels, and my daughter's still currently asleep, so I'm going to ride that wave and see how many packages we can actually get shipped. right there is what I call chaos. So we are officially done fulfilling orders. I have packaged and attached the appropriate shipping labels to every single book. As you can see, there are some spare books in the background. That is because I ordered extras of the annotated deluxe hardcover and the special edition paperback that will release to the public later this year. So stay tuned for that. But all the rest of them are good to go. I will say I had a small mess up because when I was weighing packages, I brought 2 packages upstairs and then I never brought them back downstairs. So when I was attaching to shipping labels, I thought there was 2 packages of books that that I forgot to sign and put in a package. And I signed them, put them in a package, and then went upstairs and realized, oh, I already signed these books and packaged them. So I almost accidentally sent 2 people 2 sets of books, which I'm sure they would have been fine with. But I did catch it, so I do have 3 books, because one of them is a novella, that are signed out to people that are not going to be shipped out. So yeah, I have to figure out what to do with those books because I signed them out to people who I already signed books out to. But anyways, that is it. We are done. This is... The Kickstarter fulfillment is done. I made a request for USPS to come tomorrow to pick up all the packages. They will all be picked up. There is one UPS package that I need to drop off tonight, and I'm going to do that. But yeah, otherwise, I'm done, and I am relieved. And also, my daughter woke up, but she woke up, I gave her some snacks. She's currently locked away in her room. That is very much baby-proof for her. She's chilling with her Tony box. This is actually something I typically do when I shower. It's also what parents do called like quiet time, when your kid no longer does nap time but you still need like some time to yourself. She's actually incredibly independent and she will play in her room for a very long time without getting bothered. But with that said, I feel incredibly guilty that she's been sitting in her room alone playing all by herself. So I'm gonna go join her. I'm gonna say goodbye to this chaos and relax finally, because it's done. The Kickstarter's done. I'm not done doing Kickstarter videos because I need to do a video on breaking down the costs of everything and how much money I actually made after purchasing everything, including shipping labels. And also discuss what I would do differently for future Kickstarters, because I wasted a lot of time on a lot of things. So we're going to discuss all of that. And if there's other topics you want me to cover in YouTube videos, please let me know. Sparks in Iceland officially releases October 21st, so if you haven't yet, make sure to pre-order the ebook, or if you ordered the Kickstarter, obviously, thank you. It looks like chaos because it is chaos, but this was so fun, and it's incredibly fulfilling as an author to see like just stacks of books that you know people have ordered and are going to love. So that is it for this video. Thank you all for watching. I will see you all in the next one.